I've been playing guitar for over 10 years now, and I know what it's like to feel stuck. Maybe it's been a lifelong goal of yours to pick up a guitar and just play a song and get everyone singing along, but you haven't known which steps to take to actually reach that goal. If that does sound familiar, don't worry, because today I'm going to give you a 5-step framework which you can use to teach yourself guitar in 2025. Let's get into this. So first off, which resources should you use? Do you need fancy equipment? And do you need to get a teacher? First off, resources, YouTube, and there's an app called I think it's Ultimate Guitar Tabs or something, which is great. I use it, it's completely free. You can get the paid version, but you really don't need it. Second thing, which equipment do you need? Just the guitar. If your guitar is 6 strings, that's fine. Don't worry about amplifiers, don't worry about electric guitars, don't even worry about getting a tuner. You can use your phone, there are like hundreds of free tuners. You don't even need a capo. You can use rubber bands and a pen if you don't want to buy a capo. Just have a guitar that you can learn on, because if you waste money on a bunch of expensive gear and you don't end up playing, that's going to be super disappointing. So just learn on any guitar, like a cheap guitar is fine. Then the teacher thing. Do you need a teacher? No, you don't need a teacher. People think, oh, you need somebody who's going to show you every step of the way. You simply don't. You can find 99.9% of the answers on the internet. Having a teacher makes things easier, but it's definitely not necessary, and I know a lot of my friends who learned without a teacher. Plus, even if you don't have a physical teacher, there are a bunch of coaches online, and there are a bunch of people on YouTube who are guitar teachers that give away their stuff for free. Some of the best resources are Marty Music. Every guitarist knows Marty Music because he's just so cool. Paul Davids, super great guitarist, good lessons, good quality, all of that stuff. And then Guitar Zero to Hero also has some great tutorials. Genuinely think if you have these 3 to teach you the basics, and then you've got an app like Ultimate Guitar Tabs where you can just see the lyrics and the chords together, you're sorted. You don't need much more than that. The only gear investment I would recommend is a guitar stand. I've chucked mine over there, but it's just so easy and it reduces the friction if you can just see your guitar standing there all the time. I will just have my guitar stand out. If I put my guitar in the cupboard, I play much less. So get one of those, they're super cheap. So that's step 1, is having the right resources and knowing some of the basics. Step 2 is getting your strumming and your basic chords down. Believe it or not, if you can play one strumming pattern and 7 to 9 chords, you can play 90% of songs. If you know this strumming pattern, down, down, up, down, up. So you can play 90% of songs. Riptide, Hotel California, House of the Rising Sun. The list goes on, like hundreds of songs, thousands even. So that's a strumming pattern I'd recommend. For learning strumming patterns, just mute the strings and then slowly start. Down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. As for technique and stuff, I've made videos on that in the past, but pretty much do this, say, okay, Ethan, and then use this hand position for downstroke, so you're supporting your index finger and strumming with the back of your finger, and then keep a pretty relaxed wrist and strum from the elbow down. And then for upstrokes, just loosen this and use the side of your thumb to go up. That's it for strumming pretty much. The chords you want to learn are A minor, C, D, E minor, F, but do like the cheating F, the easy one, not the full F, that's going to be difficult, and then G. And then if you want to, you can add an A major and E major. If you can play those chords, I'm telling you, 90% of songs will be covered. So that's what I'd recommend as step 2, is get those chords, get the resources you need so that you can just get to practicing and overcome a lot of hurdles. Don't worry about scales or like boring stuff. Play real songs. Which brings us to step 3, which is to actually practice real songs. A lot of people say, oh, you need to learn like the music theory and all of the scales and stuff. That's nice if you're later on, but in the beginning, if we use the 80-20 rule, what 20% of actions will get me 80% of results? Bro, just learn chords and learn how to strum. It's going to make your life much, much easier. You're not going to struggle. You're not going to have frustrating situations where you've learned something new but you can't actually use it, trust me. Follow step 2, get that down. Find your favorite song, search beginner-friendly guitar songs. Hundreds, thousands of them will pop up with like 4 chords which are super simple. Follow along and learn them. All of the songs people love singing along to and which you probably want to sit and play around a campfire are the ones which are super easy. Like, people don't care if you're playing easy songs or hard songs. They just like the fact that you're playing something. And then step 4 is to set up a practice schedule or maybe even get an accountability buddy. I say this because you are going to hit a plateau. You're going to learn those basic chords, you're going to learn the strumming patterns, and things are going to be going great. But then at some point, things are going to slow down, and it's not going to feel like you're progressing. And at the points where you're not progressing, that is when you are most likely to give up. That is why the majority of beginners quit. It's not actually from challenging yourself, it's from not challenging yourself and doing the same things over and over again. So if you are in this space, I recommend that you just set up a schedule, have a time in your day where you practice 5 to 30 minutes. Just go for it. Do new things. Try hard things. A lot of people are scared of doing difficult guitar things or new riffs or whatever because they think that's going to make them feel overwhelmed. No. That's what excites you. That's part of the fun of learning an instrument. You've got to try new things. You've got to challenge yourself. I'm telling you, any guitarist who is practicing something difficult and slowly but surely seeing progress, they're not the ones who are quitting. The ones who are quitting are the ones who've been playing Riptide for the last 3 months and they don't know anything else. So start challenging yourself. Then the accountability buddy thing. Some days you're not going to feel like practicing. And if you've got a friend who you've said, yeah, I'll give you $100 if I don't do practice every day for the next 2 months, you're much more likely to sit down and practice. So just kind of make an upfront investment in yourself to force yourself to play. I've done that for a lot of things in my life. I've had to finish a project or do exercises. I would say, hey, I'll give you this much money if I don't do this stuff. And guess what? I've always done it. So maybe consider messaging a friend and saying, hey, let's learn guitar. We'll hold each other accountable. And then the 5th step, and this is probably most important, is, I know it's a bit cheesy, but have fun. You've got to remember you're learning this because you want to. Stop thinking of it as a chore or something boring you have to do, unless you're being forced to play for the school or whatever. You chose to do guitar. You wanted to learn guitar because you thought it would be an awesome hobby, and it can be. But if you're forcing yourself to do things that suck, which aren't giving you results, of course you're going to quit. So just make it fun. Pick a style you like, pick a song you like, and work towards it. If you want to learn Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer, and it's a bit tough, break it down. Make it into bite-sized chunks. Because I'm telling you, once you can start getting those slides down and use your thumb and do all of these dyads, you're going to be so motivated. Much more motivated than if you just forced yourself to sit and practice the C major scale all the time. So those are my 5 tips. Number 1, find the right resources. Number 2, practice the basics. Number 3, play real songs. Number 4, have a schedule and maybe even an accountability buddy. And step 5, have fun. Hope that made sense. If you would like more help, if you do want someone who can tutor you and coach you and whatever, I have a coaching program, which you can check out. Top link in the description. Maybe it's something you'll be interested in. I'll see you there. Cheers.